Hello, this video is to demonstrate an ESP32-S3 microcontroller, which is this device here, being used for a functional test, which is a manual version of the functional test, meaning it will not be connected to the computer for any reason. All it will do is switch between measurement points, so somebody could write the measurement points down. The purpose for this would be in case somebody, a small company doesn't have the funds to put a computer in front of every, test station. It also eliminates using having to use up to 4 voltmeters. For taking measurements, you can only use 1 voltmeter. What I found is the Fluke voltmeters are very expensive. They're somewhere around $700 a piece, and they have to be calibrated. So anytime you're taking measurements, you have to make sure that you have your equipment calibrated every year to make sure that you're within specifications. So this would eliminate the need for using 4 voltmeters for 4 measurements. You don't have to use one. Plus, you'd have this little ESP microcontroller, which is $14, and you can buy this. I got this at the Micro Center. It's a $7, $8 board. It's an $8 relay board, and this is LCD. This $8, LCD. So you just think of the cost of this right here. It's just using a computer, VS Code, Visual Studio Code. You use this code to write into this microcontroller. It boots up the same way every time, just to reduce costs. You wouldn't have to have a computer for this, but all you'd have to have is this little setup here. You put it inside a little enclosure yourself. Every time you turn it on, it boots up the same way. And now you have 1 voltmeter instead of using 4 voltmeters. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you how it works. I'll go ahead and program it first to show you that, I'm actually connected to this, and I'm programming it with the Visual Studio Code over here. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and just turn everything on so you can see that everything's on. Right now it boots up because it's already programmed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to program it, and then I'm going to disconnect it from the computer and connect it to the power source, and then I'm going to restart it. So I'll just go ahead and do the upload. And this is just to show you that it's being programmed. So it's this code that's going into the microcontroller. That way you know that I'm using the code that I'm going to give you for source code at the end of this video. So you know it's programming right now. You just saw it program. And now what I'll do is I'll power it off. I'm disconnect over there, and I want to plug it in over here. And then now I can power it on, everything on from this power source here. And I'll zoom in so you can get a better detail of what's going on. What I'm using, I have pennies over here that I'm using for measurement points, and I'm just going to show you how it's first when it boots up. I'll start again. When it first boots up, it always has one measurement point, just one. Every time it's going to have one measurement point. If I were to start the test, it's only going to be the first relay. So I just press the button to run the test. I press next, and then I would write down the measurement, and then you press next again, and it's done. It's always going to be one measurement point when it boots up every time. And you got to press next to go to each point. I just wrote the software where it does that. You have to you start it, you press next for each measurement point until it's done with the test. To change it, I have another. It would be a button. Right now, I'm using pennies with a wire connected to it it's a capacitive touch sensor. You could use touch sense buttons. That's what you would normally buy. It's just I don't have the money to do this right now, so I'm doing what I can with what I have. So now if I want to change the settings, I press this one over here, and then I can go up or down. If I go down, you'll see it will never go below 1, and it'll never go above 4. That's how I wrote the software. I mean, you can make it where you have 8 relays if you wanted to. You can do a lot with the software, but I just have 4 measurement points. So I'll go ahead and save this. So to enter the setup, And to leave this up, you press a button. When you press this button, it saves it. And now when I run the test, it has 4 measurement points. So press one. That's one. So I'd write the measurement down. I'd write the next measurement down. I'd write the next measurement down. And I'd write the next measurement down. And that would be it. Then you press that and it ends it. There's other things you can do to control this by using computer automation, but this is a simple way to eliminate the need for having 4 voltmeters and just using one. The cost for those fluke voltmeters is somewhere at $500 to $700 each. So just think of how much you're saving. $500. That's $2,000 for four measurement points. And now you just got one, so you just saved yourself $1,500 for a test setup. So anyway, that was my reasoning behind making something like this. It would reduce costs. And it would save a lot of money for somebody who was using it. I'll zoom into the screen. I'll give one more demonstration of it while you can see the screen, so you can see what it's actually saying. And I'll power it off and restart it. So every time it powers up, I press the start button over here. It always has one measurement point. And then to change it, I have a setup button you would press, and you could change it to go to, or just do three measurement points. You press the same one to save it, and now you can run it again. Start test. So now I have 3 measurement points. And that's just a small demonstration. This is the source code that I'm using for this. And I'll give you the source code at the end of this, and with just some images so you can have a cleaner version. It's only 200 lines of code. If I had a voltmeter, I would put a voltage divider on here and show you that it's working, but I'll show you how that I plan on wiring this. I'll test it later when I have a voltmeter. I know they're only like $20, but I don't have $20 because I'm sitting here waiting for the Oklahoma Carter County Police to tell the truth about the police conspiring with the citizens to fake my daughter's death and use this as a method so that they could torture me for a reason, for the police to find a reason to arrest me. I mean, they already know that they're liars. They don't care that they're going to go to a lake of fire. They just don't care. They got all them, their kids and their citizens mocking me everywhere I go. They just laugh in my face, and they don't even understand what I'm saying when I say it out loud. The citizens and police of the areas surrounding Carter County, Oklahoma, Gainesville, Texas, Cook County, Denton, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Oklahoma City, Madill, Oklahoma, Kingston, Oklahoma, Durant, the Choctaw Casino, Windstar Casino, San Antonio, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Austin, Texas, all these surrounding areas have conspired with the police to fake my daughter's death and use it to torture me and make me homeless. Everyone just laughs in my face and mocks me while they help the police hide the truth about my daughter being alive. Do you understand what I'm saying? The police have made an agreement with the citizens. They are conspiring with the citizens to hide my daughter from me, and they've been doing that ever since the year 2005. Since then, I've lost my house, my car, my job, my career, my retirement. Nobody will hire me for any reason whatsoever. And I'm stalked by citizens from Carter County who want to keep this quiet. They don't want people to know what they really did. And I'm stalked by the police everywhere I go to. Chris Bryant and his cohorts from Carter County, Oklahoma. They don't want anybody knowing the truth of what they really did. So they have put me in mental hospitals and jail 5 times while they hide the truth about my daughter being alive. They will not admit fault. They will not admit the truth. All they do is stalk me. And if I try to go to a police, they'll say, "Are you on some kind of medication, sir?" And then they'll put me in a jail cell or a mental hospital. Because once they talk to you, you're now officially detained. Right. Carter County Police. So anyway, if a tornado were to come up today and wipe out a whole city, tornado from God the Father, like a wind tornado. Anybody who passed away in that due to the tornado, You'll wake up in a lake fire for being a liar. Anyway, I'm going to go. So have a good day. You can use this code if you want to. Bye.